I remember I interviewed this former Hells Angels leader named PeeWee.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked him why there weren't any black people in the Hells Angels. And he explained to me very clearly. He said, the reason is because a lot of Hells Angels are in prison. Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to that, there's a racial line that if something pops off, you go with your own race.
Yep.
Basically, black people are not allowed to be Hells Angels?
They didn't have black people in the club. They thought it was like a racist thing. They did it because it was all to do with going to prison, how they're segregated in the prison. There's no way you can walk into the prison, trust me, after me being there, now knowing, it's harder when you've never been to prison like I wasn't before. Hearing it, you're like, well, is it really that bad? Yeah, it is that bad. I could not walk in there with a black guy and say, hey, this is my brother. Hey, we're staying together. We'd either get killed by his, black group or a white group. They ain't tolerating it. They're very, very segregated, and you don't go in their areas or anything. So how would that really work out? You know what I mean?
Okay, so it was a prison thing. It wasn't really a racist thing.
It was a prison thing. It wasn't a racist thing.
Right, because you can't be a black Hells Angel in prison because you'd be caught in the middle of racial riots, essentially. Now, if you have a black Hells Angels member, they would have to pick a side against the Hells Angels, and then that would complicate the situation.
Well, I mean, it's kind of impossible to do, but it's like you do have black Sureños, you do have black Norteños as well.
Really?
Yes.
You have
in prison. Yes.
Mexican gang members.
Yes, that runs with them. They're going to fight with them.
So they would fight black people.
Absolutely.
Whoa, you've seen this?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember I had Trey D here recently.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked him, when he became Muslim, did that complicate the situation with him being a Crip? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes the Muslims get into it with other groups.
Yeah. And
he said, not really. He said, I'm an OG Crip. And
a lot of times it alleviates things because if the Muslims get into it with the Crips, or especially from where you're from, who's most likely they gonna listen to? Somebody that knows them. You understand? That come from where they come from.
Yeah, he basically said that, he's down with the Crips, but if they're on some bullshit, he's not gonna be part of that. Yeah. When it comes to the Muslims and stuff like that.
I couldn't see, this what happened with me a couple of times. One time, a dude that I knew from the street got touched on a basketball court, meaning somebody socked him up. You know what I'm saying? They playing basketball, got hostile. Dude, I guess, pushed him kind of harshly, whatever, and he tried to run up on him, and the dude punched him. You know what I'm saying? And then all of his homies surrounded him. So on this particular time, the dudes from Compton and Watts, because how the yard was getting flipped, so it was only basically two buildings that were open. There was two buildings closed. But we was the Compton and Watts was the least people there. It was only 5 of them. I think including me, it would equal 5. But these other dudes that they got into it with, they was 27 deep. You know what I mean? So, the homie came around and told everybody from Compton and Watts what happened. Naturally, I thought I knew the dude, the main dude. I tried to go out there and talk to him. He gave me a promise that, he would let my homeboy go and fight the person, he got into it with head up. So as we go to the building so they can go in the cell, because we try not to get the yard shut down and all that shit, right? So as we walking in the building, they try to rush us, bro. 27 dudes try to jump on 5 of us. So I got caught up in the melee with them. You know what I mean? But that, that happens when, you Muslim and you trying to create peace. You can get caught up in shit like that as well.